Hi guys, Stark here again, back with another challenge mode. As you can see, I'm in Storm Stout Brewery this time. Got the same group with me as I did for the Mogasham Palace video. Okay, so to start off, there is a couple of different ways you can deal with these first initial packs of mobs. You can either do what we're doing here, and you can take all of the monkeys and run all the way up to the main chamber where the boss will eventually spawn. Or if you're not feeling that ballsy and you don't have the correct comp, or you're just not that comfortable with it, you can deal with them on an individual basis. Just a few things to note. The three monkeys in the first room, they will spawn with full health until you kill all the little fire sprites in that particular room with them. Now you can either get a DPS to just single target hit them. You need to hit them once and they'll die straight away. Or you can use the Battle Horn. The Battle Horn is an item, a novelty item that you can pick up from one of the rare mobs. I will link it in the description below if you want to go and find yourself one. If your tank's got one, even better, because the Battle Horn does aggro whoever blows it. It aggroes things onto whoever blows it, so be careful with that. If you decide to do what we've done here, your tank really shouldn't take too much damage, to be perfectly honest, because they will be kiting. To get rid of these monkeys, you can use your crazy warlock and shaman AoEs if you want to, but the quickest way to down them is to use the barrels. And as a healer as well, for that part I wouldn't recommend jumping on the barrels unless you're very confident that your tank is not going to need you. But as soon as Ook spawns, your tank will be taking minimal damage, and so you can help jump on the barrels as well. As you can see, the barrels hitting for sort of like 300 to 400k a shot, so you want to be using them as much as you possibly can, and as a healer as well. As I said, as you can see, there's not a huge amount of tank damage coming out. This fight's pretty boring. There's not really much that happens. You just need to DPS the boss down. For this dungeon, I've taken my usual sort of talents. I've got Tiger's Lust, Chi Brew, Chi Wave. Chi Wave I've taken because it's nice and spammable, and it provides a decent amount of DPS, and this dungeon's got quite a tight timer, so any DPS that you can contribute, you need to be contributing it. So the boss is dead, and we're going to make our way up through the gauntlet of bunnies. I'm about to demonstrate to you how not to deal with the little bunnies with the bomb packages that they have. You can tell which ones they are. They've got the little fire symbol on the right hand side of their health bar, and they have a little cast bar. When the cast bar gets full, they'll explode, and that will happen. I think I hit about 3 or 4 of these on the way through. I really didn't do a very good job of avoiding them, but I was kind of more worried about keeping everybody alive. I'm a bit more used to it now, so I tend to avoid them a lot better. Don't be stingy with your cooldowns here. This is where your tank is going to take all of the damage. There's not much room to kite these guys, and the sort of random stuns that they can chuck out don't really help the situation, so most tanks will end up just face tanking them. If you get a couple of them on you like I have, see, I've ended up taking Dampen Harm here. I did originally try Diffuse Magic, but I found Dampen Harm to be a little bit better just for this bit, because I kept dying to the rabbits, but as soon as I took Dampen Harm, it actually just helps cushion that bit of damage. The boss, Hoppatillus, won't spawn until you've killed enough of these little bunnies. You can see us using the hammers there, so you need to focus down 1 or 2 of the boppers which are carrying the hammers, pick up the hammers and use them to get rid of the rabbits. I mean, yeah, it's really nice to use the Rain of Fire and all the stuff, but it is the quickest way to kill them, and this entire dungeon is based on how quickly and efficiently you can get rid of things. And these first 2 bosses, the dungeon itself provides you with the means to do that, like with the barrels and the little mallet club things that we've got here, so make sure that you're using them. Hoppatillus himself, the fight is no different to how it is on Heroic, just everything hurts a little bit more. Avoid the carrot breath. He spins real slow, so it's not difficult to avoid. Make sure you're picking up the mallets that drop from the boppers. You need to use them to get rid of the rabbits, because you don't want to be wasting DPS on them. Hoppatillus has got quite a lot of health. And this is kind of a turning point for your dungeon. If you can get this boss down as quick as possible, you should be fine. The rest of the dungeon is an absolute cakewalk after this. But for this boss, it's all about getting him spawned and starting the encounter as soon as you can, and making sure that you're using the mallets to deal with the extra rabbits. I'm not sure whether Raz is on full health. When he does get hit by the carrot breath, I'm just going to take a quick look at this now. He does get hit by the carrot breath and it kills him, but I'm not sure if... There you go, no, he wasn't. So yeah, I don't think it will kill you if you are on full health. But I wouldn't recommend it. If you're on 75% or less, that is going to one-shot you. So yeah, please make sure you're staying out of the carrot breath. He moves so slowly. There's no reason not to, really. I think we were just a bit unlucky there. Okay, this elemental doesn't really do much. Avoid anybody with bloat. It knocks you back. You can't really miss it. Just big like brown crap coming out of their ears. This next room you can deal with in one of two ways. You can either invis through like we're going to, or if you're running a little short on time, or you don't have a high damage group, or you're worried about your DPS for the rest of the encounter, you can actually just run past these guys. As long as they are on the opposite side of the room to you when you run in, you won't pull them. And that means you can use a DPS pot for the last boss. So it's entirely up to you, whatever you're comfortable with, really. Me being a monk, I do quite a lot of damage as a healer, and we've still got 5 minutes that we need. You need about 5 minutes to complete this last boss encounter. You just want to pull those last two guys in and start it straight away. You need a good 5 minutes to get it done. Anything less and you are going to be pushing it. However, if you've not invis through, you can use a DPS pot in here, which will help. Okay, so you're going to AoE down these 4 ads. The 2 big ones that actually spawn as part of the encounter, you want to focus those down and just cleave the 2 little ones. The 2 little ones don't really do too much. Not a huge amount of damage going to come out here, but the yellow stuff on the floor, you really want to be avoiding that. And again, you get bloat, so make sure you're not stood next to anybody with that. Following these 2 guys, you're going to do exactly what you would do in the heroic dungeon. You're all going to go and hide behind the pillar and then pull all the mobs around towards you when they spawn. We'll just wait for us to actually finish these guys off. Again, I was kind of new to this at the time, and I think looking back now, it would definitely add a lot more DPS. It would have made this fight go so much quicker. I think we finished the fight with about 5 to 10 seconds left on the clock, so yeah, I think I could definitely have helped out more here. Okay, you're going to get some huge tank damage here because the tank's got nowhere to go. As you can see, Jed managed to aggro some stuff there, got himself killed, but we've got battle reses all over the show here. So yeah, don't be stingy with your cooldowns. You do not need them for the final boss. Don't save them. It doesn't matter. You don't need them. The final boss does next to no damage. If you're a shaman or a holy priest or a Resto Druid, basically anything that has like minimal healer damage as a healer, before the final boss spawns, in that tiny bit of downtime you get where you come out of combat, you actually want to switch to DPS spec if you've got one. That's how much healing is not required on the last boss. Anything you've got that you can throw out to your tank is fine, but you really don't need a lot of healing on the last boss at all. You're more worried about like whether the last boss is going to get healed himself by the ads. So yeah, don't save cooldowns. Use them all on that pull because it hurts. As you can see, we lost somebody and had to battle res them, and the tank will take a lot of damage. There's nowhere to run. You can't kite those ads around. They won't follow you. You've got to stand there and face tank them. So yep, you've got these last 4 guys here. Again, feel free to blow all of your mana. You're going to get some downtime in a second anyway, where you can amber up like I'm going to, or you can switch spec, whatever you want to do. Doesn't really matter. You can see me using the Ring of Peace there, just stops a couple of casts, which is quite nice. Tanks, you do want to be kiting these guys around a bit. They do hurt, and there's 4 of them. And once again, the yellow crap on the floor, you don't want to be stood in that at all, because it is genuinely quite painful. I don't think they cause bloat though, which is the crap that comes out of your ears. So just going to finish these 3 ads off. Well, there was 4 to begin with, but we're just going to finish these 3 ads off and wait for Yanzu, the uncasked, to spawn. Again, with me being a Mistweaver monk, I literally just chunk myself in some amber, make sure I've got full mana. The only reason you want full mana is so that you can go ham without having to worry about not being able to cast a damaging spell. Now, the only thing you need to make sure you do with this boss is you spread out and you just take a corner each. The reason for this is the little mobs that spawn with him will heal him if they get the option to. They will heal him with these little orange laser beams. You need to intercept the beams, so you need to make sure that you're all spread out. They do a minimal amount of damage as well by hitting with the brew bolts, but again, it is a minimal damage fight. You really don't need to worry about this fight. The stuff that's coming across the floor now, I think it stuns you whether you jump or not. I've tried this a couple of times now, and every time I've jumped, I've been stunned anyway, and I refuse to believe I'm just that crap at timing. So I might check up on it for definite, see if I can find out for sure, but I'm pretty sure it stuns you anyway. So you probably want to just, like, stand still. You can see me getting knocked back by bloat here. Want to buy ranged. So yeah, if you do have to stand away from the tank for bloat, then no problem. Just make sure you're using Crackling Jade Lightning. It's there to be used, and it's a nice ranged spell, and it does a fairly large amount of damage in healer spec too, and it also heals people. So make sure that you're using that as much as you possibly can. Yeah, we've managed this with less than 10 seconds to go, but bearing in mind we've had no bloodlust and no DPS pots, so it is possible. This encounter is just about getting through the dungeon in the quickest way possible. But there you go, we're all finished, and thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to give me a like, and thanks again.